And what is the background? Dr. Kezia Besigye is in the military court. A Supreme Court judge in the front-headed paper today has run into exile. The lawyers have taken the president of the Law Society for disrespect of Justice Abodo, the DPP. And even just today, a magistrate of Uganda Law Court died. If you are sensitive and you really have a bigger picture than just your self-interest, wouldn't you consider all this environment and say, this is the wrong timing? The truth of the matter is that the Honorable Mpuuga is running up and down. It's about the shame of what happened to him in Parliament when they got themselves money. And it is easier for him to accept that that was a mistake and lay back. Secondly, my father-in-law, Gino Bonyo, was a close ally of Benedicto Kiwanuka, DP. In 1961, Benedicto Kiwanuka as chief minister, Gino Bonyo and Arbi Bwambale from Kasese, nothing tribal, went and met President John Kennedy. And it is the scholarships that President John Kennedy gave that trained Ugandans to take over from colonials. That is the kind of political leadership that Mpuuga should reflect and compare himself on. A mere focus on himself, I'll ask, because I was leader of opposition before, what did he do as leader of opposition that distinguished him as somebody who can go beyond being leader of opposition on appointment and lead this country? What is it that Mpuuga can do, even as a lawyer? I knew the Sebalo and company advocates. I knew the many big law firms. If you go to Kampala, where do you get Mpuuga's law firm? And where is his record in courts? So even as an individual, let him not waste Ugandans' time. Nobody will pay attention to him. As simple as that.
Prof, you seem not to rate Mathasi Mpuuga. What I want to understand is whether he announces exiting NUP or not. What if he announces presidential ambitions? Does that throw something fresh and into the politics of the country?
It will just add laughter to his record. I mean, as leader of opposition, where did Mpuuga profile himself at a national level? I used to go, I buried Mayombo, I did this, I would meet ministers who come from abroad, European ministers, US senators, they would come. Somali delegation, Eritrean delegation, because they recognized that the role I was playing was beyond an opposition role, it was a national role. But even within the opposition role, what did Mpuuga play to make him now evaluate himself and suggest that Mpuuga can start a party and people will follow? That he can go to DP and DP will make him their leader? Or that he can stand as a presidential candidate? Of all things, presidency for what, massacre?
You may not be rating Mpuuga, but from his colleagues, him as a personality might move away with a big chunk of members of parliament or political leaders that as a whole could shake up the politics. Don't you think so?
It will not happen. Friday is not far. Let Mpuuga announce. And he will get the embarrassment of his life. People are not fools. There are so many big priorities in this country. There's too much poverty. There's too much anger. There's too much disunity. And you come and talk about yourself. As who?
In your own opinion, briefly, and this is the last one from me, what would be the right thing for Mpuuga to do? What would be the right thing for Mpuuga to do right now?
Let Mpuuga calm down, go back and talk to his colleagues in NUP, to members of political leadership in Uganda, find counsel even with religious leaders, and they will define for him a better path than this empty posturing.